Who am I here with today?
Landon Johnson, Landon Pookela Johnson, as everyone knows me as Pookela 6K on Instagram, but my name is Landon.
All right. I'll tell people what you do, bro. How old are you? What's your story? And
So, well, to get started, I'm 20 years old. I come from the west of Oahu. Not the most perfect place to grow up in, but the main thing is where I'm at now. I'm a full-time day trader. I'm also a mentor, and I also work on prediction apps.
That's sweet, bro. Well, how long you been in this game for? Yeah, what's your story like? If you don't mind, like sharing people that like could relate to you.
Yeah, for sure. I think maybe trading, I've been profitable for maybe like 2.5 years. I've been studying it since I was 14. Of course, being 14 at that peak age, you don't know what anything is, but that's when I first started to get into it.
Okay. Yeah, and then like, how did you just like get into like entrepreneurship and just like starting to run it up for yourself?
I guess it came through like school. Like I never really like listened in school, and that doesn't come with just me. But like, there's a ton of kids who doesn't listen in school. But
Yeah.
I just didn't like to be told what to do. And that also explains a lot of the tattoos that I have. It doesn't make me a bad person. It's just who I am. I really like tattoos, but I'm still the same innocent person without it.
Yeah.
But I would say like what kind of made me an entrepreneur and kind of just being my own boss is kind of just like knowing like what I want in life. So I already knew what I wanted in life before, school ended for me because I dropped out of school. So, before I even dropped out of school, I already know what I wanted. Like I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to make my own career path. I just wanted everything to be made from me, handcrafted, my own empire. So I don't have to rely on nobody or listen to anybody else. Like I essentially live in a world where everything goes my way.
That's 100% true. Do you mind kind of telling your story about like from when you were 16 to like now, and like what got you to the point? Because I think you like he has an incredibly inspiring story just about like kind of like
For sure. So, what kind of got me to like where I'm at, I guess you could say, the like peak of where I started from, you could say was when I was 16 years old. When I was 16, I used to get bullied in school a lot. I'd say like throughout my whole entire high school and intermediate, I got bullied in school. So I didn't really have the best path in school. Me like in towards a like, like my like mental state of mind, like everything was kind of like a joke. I would say like the biggest impact of why school made me who I am today was because it showed me who I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be these kids that would harass everybody. I didn't want to be a bully. I didn't want to be picking on anybody. I just wanted to be my own person. And coming from who I was in school, I was just like the like odd number out of the even numbers. So I guess people would like view me a little bit different. I guess you could say because it's race, and I'm not saying like a racial profile meaning black or white, but I'm talking about like I didn't look like a local kid. I looked more like a mainlander kid in like a local school, and the local kids don't really like that. And I would say like that's kind of why I got picked on, and that just showed me like like coming from who I was when I was younger. I was a very loving child, so I had a lot of love in my heart. As soon as I got into intermediate and high school, that just crushed my whole entire spirit. And it just showed me instead, like, I can do so much more with my heart instead of just be who I am right here, right now.
Okay.
So I ended up dropping out of school, and my grandmother actually was helping me build credit since I was 16. I was an authorized user on her credit card. So she was already paying things off, building my credit since I was 16. By the time I was 18, I dropped out of school when I was 17. I was kind of planning my life. I got into a big car accident. That's for another video. We could save that. But I would say once I turned 18, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was a bum. I was broke. I had nothing going for me. My girlfriend and her family pretty much opened their arms out to me and let me move in because I got kicked out of my grandparents' house. So I got kicked out for not, being able to do anything at home because I was lazy. So I was pretty much a bum. I didn't have any money. And I owned, at that time, a 1995 Nissan Hardbody. And that's a pickup truck. And it's kind of a big trend down here, and I kind of was on the like last limbs of that truck. You know, the transmission broke, and I literally spent my last $600 buying a new transmission, and I didn't know how to replace it at that time. So I spent my last money on that, and I couldn't do anything. So um, I kind of just sold that truck, got money for it, and I applied for a bank loan at the age of 18 because I had all right credit to pull out a loan because my grandparents authorized user. I pulled out a loan of 15 grand. I was able to, salvage my truck for about $3,500. So I was about 18.5. I pretty much told a close friend of mine that I wanted to start a towing company, and he was all in for it. So he had his own money. He's a little bit older than me. I'm not gonna say his name or anything because we kind of have bad blood right now. But he started this company, and he helped me start this company, and he bought the truck first. He bought a truck before I did, and I didn't have enough yet. I got to take out that loan, but that was to keep me on my feet, as like a boundary, as like a safety net, this and that, while at the same time paying it back off monthly. So on top of that, when we started the towing company, we got contracts, we got a ton of calls, and I was making money. I was starting to just pick up. I started to pick myself back up. I was able to help my actual girlfriend's mom with her bills. So, I essentially felt a little bit better not living there for free because I was starting to pay bills, pay bills monthly, pay my own phone. I was paying my own car insurance. So it was starting to feel independency when I've never felt that before. And that's very, very inspiring knowing like, wow, like I'm paying for my own bills and I'm not relying on anybody at all,
Yeah.
So then, I was working this towing company. Keep in mind, me and my friend was making at least like 10 grand each a month. So 20K each in the towing company. He was very fair. He would half the margins with me, even though it was his truck at first. I made 30 grand. I realistically made 40K. I spent a certain amount of money as a down payment for my Dodge Charger at that time to get into that car because it was my dream car, right? Dodge Charger SRT. I used the rest of my money and I bought a flatbed tow truck. After I bought my flatbed tow truck, my friend also bought a flatbed tow truck and he upgraded, and we split the company and we went our own ways. What we did from there, we just worked alongside of each other, but with different names. He put his company in his own name, I took mine. And that was it. And, we would still do work every day, The towing scene was overly populated down here. So I'm happy, I was able to make a good amount of money before towing, like looking for tows just got too hard and I couldn't make any money out of it.
Yeah.
So at that time I saved up about maybe like $50,000 to $60,000 in the last 6 months of that towing company. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to sell my trucks and everything. So I ended up selling my tow truck, my flatbed tow truck, for about 16 grand, super cheap. Undervalued for how much I paid for it, but you also got to think of it. I put the truck to use. I made my money's worth. So I did take a L on how much it was worth, but yet again, it did the work, right? It did the job. So I ended up buying another tow truck, but I sold the company, and I bought the other tow truck just in case, It was like a little bit cheaper. And either way, a few months down the line, towing just was dead for me. I sold the tow truck to this super, super cool guy. He actually lives in my apartment complex right now as well. But I sold my tow truck to him, and my company, my Instagram, everything. Came with the clients, everything. So I sold the company to him, and he made it super, super successful. And for me, I was sitting there with 100 grand in my bank account, like, wow, like this is my first $100,000. This is my first 6 figures I've ever touched and laid hands on. I've never touched six figures in my life until
18.
I was still 18. So, of course, at that time, I just felt like I was the shit, And I started to pick trading back up. I kind of gave up on it when I was 18 because I had no money already. I was dead broke.
Yeah.
And I was doing some live trading, gold futures. I wasn't profitable for a little while. I would say I was losing too much money. So my bank account would go from, you know, this certain number to this number to this number to this number, and it would just keep cutting in half more and more. Um, and the actual day that I was gonna quit and just work a regular job, I was just like, you know what, like I am built way more for than just that.
Yeah.
And so I just scaled my own self and my own being, and I was just learning a little bit more about like discipline with like trading, like not being in a rush to make money,
Yeah.
just letting the money come to me, just being able to be patient for better setups. As soon as I did that, and I started to be a little bit profitable, but I was still chasing money, and I was praying and I was praying. I was like, please God, like don't let me go out like this as a failure,
Yeah.
And at that time, I hated to talk about money to our Lord because, I don't want to ask him for any handouts. I just want to ask him for some guidance. I just asked him for guidance for days in a row. Please, please just give me a chance to just learn a little bit better for myself. Like I need guidance. I need your help. And one day I stopped looking at everything as like money. And I was just like, like I have a good amount of money. At that time, I had maybe like 40 grand left. I blew through 60K.
Yeah.
That's on food, bills, like monthly shit, like whatever I wanted. I was just blowing it because depression comes in all forms. Like I was super depressed at that time. And I was just blowing money on stupid things to make me happy, temporary happiness. So I was like, oh, well, this clothes is nice. Yep, buy, right? And I'm happy to have this clothes, this materialistic shit for as long as it kept me happy, and then I was back at the same spot. Oh, I fucking hate this life.
Yeah.
I hate my life. Like, why is it always me? Why is it always me? As soon as I stopped looking at it as that, and I changed my mindset to, you know what? When the money comes to me, it'll come. I know the Lord won't let me fail. That's what I told myself. And I was like, you know what? I trust all in him.
Yeah.
I'm tired of begging. I shouldn't have to beg. And I just said, like, I'm sorry, like, I'm not the perfect human being. A little bit farther down the line, I stopped worrying about money, and I started to pick up on trading a lot. And I was maybe making like a daily profit on like a live account because I don't trade fundeds. Maybe like $400 a day. $400 a day is good money.
Yeah.
Fast forward to right now, I'm making, $1,300 a day plus.
Yeah.
I have shitty days, I have good days. At that time, I learned a really good, valuable lesson that, I couldn't just keep chasing money. And that's where I failed for all those years. When I started my towing company, I was chasing money. When I was first trading, I was chasing money. Through my friendships, I was chasing money, not being a friend. Through all of my past business partners, I was chasing money and not being an actual solid business partner. And what I learned from it was, you know what, I had to stay true to myself, and I just have to stay disciplined, and I got to know, like, not everything is going to be perfect in my life. And that even if I don't like the position I'm in, I got to understand that there's more to life than just being in a rush, So that's what kind of made me where I am today, where I can actually afford my own place, afford 2 cars, afford gas without worrying, food without worrying, going out without a worry, like being able to buy whatever. And like if you asked me 2 years ago, like Landon, like where do you see yourself in 2 years? I wouldn't have an answer for that because I wouldn't know. And in 2 years, I made it this far. So you got to think I don't know where I'll be in another 2 years, but imagine where I could be in another 2 years.
No, for sure.
I could be even farther,
For sure. And now you make multiple 5 figures a month at 20 years old.
At 20 years old,
20
like
years old, bro.
I turned 21 in January, and I finally found the acceptance of like where I want to be in life. Like I finally see like I am put on this earth for something better than to just be average, I feel like everyone has their place in life, Everybody has their place in life.
No, for sure. That's outstanding, man. It's like everyone has a story, and that's I think the coolest thing about just entrepreneurship and like people that you meet. Everyone's got a story, bro. It's like everyone's got one story, and it's just like there's always that point where it was just a deep point of self-reflection.
Yeah.
And it seems like,
For
when
sure.
you explained yours, where you just like self-reflect and you sit there and you go, I'm not happy. Like things need to change. Like things need to change. And that's the turning point of it all.
And you know what? I could have sobbed through it all. I could have just grieved through it all and say, like, wow, like God never helps me. Like I could have been that person that would just always cry for help. Why is it always me? Why is it always my fault? Why am I always in this situation? What people don't understand is when you let go of stress leaves.
Yeah.
But you need to let it go. When you don't have control of something, what can you do?
What can you do?
Don't cry
No,
about
literally.
it. Just endure the fact that you're even living a life.
Exactly. Keep talking. I'm gonna just.
And so, like, the fact that I'm able to wake up, the fact that I'm able to wake up every single day with a new breath, right? With a sensation in my body, with another hot shower, with another cold drink, with another hot meal, with electricity, with some AC, with a roof over my head, with a beautiful view, with my cars that I've wanted as a childhood,
Yeah.
being able to afford, expensive animals, being able to afford to take care of the people around me. Like, that's the best blessing I've ever got.
Yeah.
And, the best blessing in life's come free. And people don't see that because they're so stuck up with the money. Oh, I think a big blessing is owning your own house, owning your dream car, being rich. Honestly, being successful, the biggest blessing you have is being able to wake up every day. Because if you don't wake up every day, then what do you have? You're already lost now.
Exactly.
So being able to wake up and, having being blessed by the Lord to being able to be fulfilling my destination, bro, is the best thing I've ever felt in my life. And I've had a shitty childhood. And I'm not that kind of guy to blame my childhood on anybody. I'm not going to blame the Lord for my childhood. I'm not going to blame my family for the childhood trauma. I'm not going to blame my situation for it. I'm the only person to blame. Because I made it out. I made my life so much better. And that just proves, if I can do it from bare scratch, anybody can.
Anybody can.
It's a mental game.
It's a mental game.
You got to think about it. I mentally thought I couldn't do things. I mentally thought that I was chasing money. I mentally thought these things. What happened when I dropped them all? It started to be used for my own leverage. If that's not something, then I don't know what to really say it is. Because that is crazy how that works.
Yeah, exactly. You can do anything, truly. It's just a mental game. I mean, you drop, so many bangers in there. I'm not even going to lie. You just absolutely cooked.
Exactly.
I think one of the there's, 3 things that you said that was, that's so true. But, one of the biggest ones is just the fulfillment part. If you have loved ones, if you have a roof over your head, if you have a bed to just sleep, and if you have a phone to just have that ability to text the ones around you, reach out to anyone you want at any time, you were already so blessed. And
Exactly.
You were, people don't count their blessings. And I feel like that's one thing that you and I share in Jay Blair more than absolutely anything is we count our blessings so much. I think that's why we're just so well grounded. That's nothing can literally stop us. No cocky stuff, but nothing could literally stop us. There is not a single thing. And that's because how can anything stop us even if we're at ground zero, we'd still be grateful for the position that we're in. It's impossible, and it's just bro, there's so much people they get the bread and you're loaded. I'm not gonna hold you, but all these people are just spending their bread on just all this fake fulfillment. These cars, watches, glasses, designer, materialism. And they realize they're never gonna find it in that.
Exactly. I can completely agree with that. And the number one problem that I see is people are greedy and people don't understand what a privilege is.
Yeah.
People don't understand that driving a car is a privilege. Owning a phone to talk on is a privilege. Having a voice to talk with is a privilege. You seeing new colors, and you being able to see sunsets, being able to see buildings, being able to see lights, bro, that's a privilege because not everybody is born with, being able to have a vision. Not everyone is born with correct talking abilities. Not everyone is born like how you would want to better yourself as. Like, not everyone is born to have the life that you live. And that's what makes me so grateful is I wake up every day and I'm already waking up. I'm already waking up. Like, there are no promises that anyone will ever wake up the next day. Already from waking up, I'm grateful. Being able to wake up in a beautiful home that I was blessed with, that makes me even more grateful, right? And just being able to just congest food correctly, having good health, like that makes me so grateful. Like, I don't care who has more money than me, who has less. If you're happy in your life, you're a winner.
You're a winner, bro.
And you can have $1 billion and hate your life. I still win because I love the position that I'm at, and you hate the position that you're at.
Exactly, bro.
But people don't look at it like that because they're always like, oh, well, he has this. Why don't I? He has that. Why don't I?
No.
You got to stop asking yourself, why this, why that? The only person that contradicts your situation is yourself. If you don't have what he has, whose fault is that? That's your fault. Because clearly, if you said 2 people in a room and one person has a Lambo, one person has $1 billion, one person has their dream house, and this other person doesn't have a Lambo. They don't have their dream car. They don't have their dream house. They don't have God in their life. They don't have, their anything materialistic. Who do you like? What is the difference between these 2 people? The difference is somebody wanted it more. That's it. Somebody wanted more for their life, so they want.
It's like it's so obvious too.
It's so obvious.
It's so obvious, and it's just like people like intentionally ignore it. It's
exactly.
like they don't want it enough for themselves. It's like literally like I've told you stories about I've handed the playbook, word for word, step by step, exactly what to do. People just didn't even want it; they just threw it out the window.
Dude,
it's just like it happens so much.
And I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm not gonna name drop, but just these kind of lifestyles. Like last week, there's this one particular person that always posts himself at the club, right? Traveling. Like thousands of dollars on his story. Same person that asked me to borrow $100. Why did you need $100? Right?
It's all an illusion.
You're gonna borrow my $100, and what are you gonna do with that? You're gonna break our bond over $100 of me trusting you that you'll pay it back, and you're gonna use it to buy drinks at the club. Yeah. That's the problem. You're worried about the wrong things. Your priorities aren't set straight. You want to go to the club? You want to smoke? You want to drink? You want to party with the wrong friend group? Fine. But don't cry about it in 20 years when you didn't get far. Don't cry about it when your kidneys are failing. Don't cry about it when your health is shit. For
real.
And the biggest thing is people that do that ask God, please, and
so
no,
true.
the problem is
So true.
they're asking the Lord and they're praying for their wants and not their needs. Like, why don't you just pray for your health? Why don't you just pray for a full stomach? But you want to pray for your dream car? You want to pray that you make millions of dollars? Bro, like, these are things that you don't pray for. Like, you need to genuinely reach your own wants by yourself. If God isn't already doing enough by waking you up every day and setting a path, that's on you. You failed already. And people always think, oh, well, I'm already too late. It's never too late. I know millionaires who never reached $1 million till they were 60, 70. It's never too late. You can still change your life around, but it's up to you. How long do you want to struggle? If you want to keep doing what you're doing, fine. If you don't have discipline, fine. If you want to go to the club and wonder why you're always broke and you have a problem saving money, fine. That's on you. If you don't want to take the 1 year, it takes 1 year for someone to change and break bad habits. I used to have a bad habit of vaping. I broke that bad habit because I stopped it. I substituted vaping for eating. That's more healthy than a vape, right? I was substituting smoking weed for something else, like driving around. Like, these are habits that can be broken, but like I told you, bro, it's a mental game that everyone suffers with. Oh, no, I can't do it, And it's like there's a difference with these people, because I know very successful people who smoke weed. It's a difference from being addicted to making it a habit to just doing it for less stress, you know? If you're not having to rely on it, you're fine. But I know people who have it and make it into a money problem. Like, they can't even afford their next dub. You should not be smoking, brother, man.
Yeah, no.
You're going to ask me to borrow $40 to buy a dub of weed. No, you should not be smoking, brother, man.
Yeah.
You need to take that 40 and get you, you know, some new clothes and go fill out a fucking job app, you know? Like, bro.
You gotta leave in 6:27.
It's okay.
Okay. But dude, you absolutely cooked.
Okay,
Nah,
if I
he's a
had to leave you guys
banger,
with
bro.
one
Yeah,
piece
drop
of
'em-
information,
drop 'em,
let me drop the absolute sauce on you guys just real quick. Don't doubt your life yet. I don't care how old you are. Don't doubt your life, and don't think that you're only worth so much. You got to understand, if I could do this in 2 years, imagine what you could do in 2 years, right? 365 days is already going to change you with a new mindset. The next 300, you're going to put your mindset to use. That's all you need. If those 2 years aren't worth the rest of your 7 years of life, I don't know what is. Would you rather struggle for the next 2 years and be successful, or struggle forever and not be successful at all? I could not imagine being on my deathbed struggling about finances, because I've seen people do it, you know. That's all I could say. Count your blessings and don't take anything for granted, because like you are watching this video on your phone right now, you got to think you have that privilege of owning a phone, affording a phone. Some people don't even have a phone. Some people can't afford a phone or pay for their phone line. So be grateful that you can even do things like this, you know? Just thank the Lord every day, you know, and don't ask for anything, but instead just thank Him for every little small thing in your life. And you will be blessed for way more. But you need to prove that you deserve these things. Like I said, it's a privilege. Don't expect it, just wait your turn.
I love this one, man. You absolutely cooked, bro. Well, this is my boy, Pookela. He's an absolute killer, 20 years old. Bro, he's low-key got it like that. He's built like that. And just want to inspire you guys. Go chase your dreams, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys all have a great night.
Before this ends, one more thing. I'm a human just like you.